Well, joining us now from Washington, D.C. is NBA insider and the host of Scoop B Radio, Brandon Scoop B Robinson. Brandon, thank you very much for joining us. Where does Popovich stand in the discussion of who's the greatest NBA coach of all time?
Well, when you look at Gregg Popovich, he's definitely someone that was not only personable, but someone who got the job done. Part of a dynasty of the Spurs that has included any iteration of Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Manu Ginóbili, and Tim Parker. Many people, even his peers, have put him on, at least in the last 20 years, in the same conversation as Phil Jackson, legendary Lakers and Bulls coach. So he's definitely someone who's higher up in the ranks, one of the top coaches in the game. I'm glad to see him write the script his way.
Popovich won 5 NBA championships with San Antonio, but which one of the Spurs teams that he built will be the greatest, will be remembered as the greatest?
Wow, that's an interesting question. I mean, when you look at the Spurs in 2003 going up against the then New Jersey Nets, Tim Duncan and the Spurs at large were really cooking with hot grease, if you will. I recently spoke with Draymond Green about the Spurs, and he gave Popovich and the Spurs the nod and called them the gold standard when it comes to just championships and just their rank amongst the greats. So I personally like the 2003 Spurs team when they beat the Nets, but there's some other ones that stand out. 05 when they beat Detroit, and there's just been a lot of good championship matchups that they've had, but I personally like the 03 team.
How much will basketball fans miss Popovich's presence? Because he was one of the great personalities of the sport, wasn't he?
He was, and it extended outside of just his coaching. I think his awareness of social justice issues and really being outspoken about current U.S. President Donald Trump and just some of the policies there. But aside from that, I think his connectivity to serving our country in and of itself, also playing basketball. But you can't forget his quick wit. I remember catching up with Pop some years ago, and in our interview, he talked about Drake and recording artists, and that was a viral moment for me that I'll remember. But I think he's definitely a Renaissance man.
And he also had some views, didn't he, on the social issues? I remember him speaking in support of Colin Kaepernick, for example.
Yeah, I think what's cool about Coach Pop is that it extended outside the realm of just basketball. Not only was he outspoken about Colin Kaepernick, he was outspoken just about voting and people going out and registering to vote and things of that sort. And he had the respect of the game's best players, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, some of the others. He also represented our country in the U.S. on this side for USA Basketball, being the head coach for many years.
All right, Brandon Scoop B Robinson, thank you for giving us your thoughts there on the news that Gregg Popovich is deciding to step away now from coaching in the NBA. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.